Hey, I'm Scott, and I'm an American in Bangkok. I got a letter from a guy named Glenn, and he says, I have a letter. Have you or others ever researched out a particular subject that has probably never been asked in one of your letters on the YouTube channel? I always get this. Guys writing in, you probably never heard this before, but actually I've heard it. I've heard it all, man, pretty much, you know. He writes, let's see here. The question is, what particular business, food or otherwise, would be the best for a 56-year-old male to start/open up? I am 56 years old. I got that already. And I want to do more than teach English. I am living in New York, and I want to get back to Bangkok as soon as possible. When I say research, I mean hardcore statistical chances of succeeding in a particular food, bar, retail, or other industry based on competition, capital, input, and luck. Please help. Sincerely, Glenn, NYC. P.S. You're the best. I would love to say hello someday. Okay, before I get started, if you click on the link above and in the description, from now until October 9th, you can save $20 off the VIP membership of my site. That brings it down from $49.95 to $29.95. You can even renew at $29.95 if you like. Or save $5 off the audio version of They Call Me Farang. Again, you can do so just by clicking on the link above or in the description. Okay, so now back to the questions. Well, you know, I got to say something first of all, because just you're asking this question, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but there are a lot of intangibles. And I think that you're forgetting a few things. I'm gonna say that just to answer your question quickly, I have some information that you're looking for in the members section of my website. Yes, the members section. That's why I have a members section. It's because this is kind of a detailed answer. It's a long question. There are a lot of variables, and you know, the long and short of it is there are some statistical data to what you are asking about. However, you're asking like, oh, what's best for a 56-year-old? You know what? I don't know that matters. Your age. I mean, you know, aside from you being an 18-year-old trying to start some finance company here or something like that, I think you're approaching it from the wrong angle. So like I said, I have a PDF from the World Bank that has a plethora, if you will, of information. And also, you can always check with the Thai Board of Investment. Now, I have to say that in January of this year, the Board of Investment here in Thailand reported a 78% decrease in foreign investments, while Vietnam has been reporting record increases in foreign investments. So that's something to take into consideration. Now, the business opportunities that you can start legally are very limited. So take a look at the prohibited jobs list on my website. I'll put the link below in the description. And the success of your business may be dependent on your startup capital, because there are guys, they think they're going to put $10,000 into some business here and it's going to make enough for them to live, and they'll live happily ever after. They can live with their girlfriend. And I'm here to tell you the success rate for those kind of businesses, unless perhaps it's some kind of an online business or some consultation business or something like that, the success rate is fairly low, the time to get started is fairly long, and the rate of return, you know, you're not going to make a whole lot of money. I would say maybe Cambodia is a better place to do business, and Vietnam are better places to do business now than Thailand. But what do I know? I'm not doing business because I don't want to do business here. Not in the sense that he's talking about. And then something that you didn't even say, and this is extremely important, is what your qualifications are. I don't know what your qualifications are, and this is the kind of thing that statistics don't always take these intangibles into consider. They don't consider these intangibles, and what your qualifications are. That's extremely important. There are countless numbers of foreigners who have dreams of opening or dreamed of opening a bed and breakfast, a beachside bungalow. I always get the coffee shop one, internet cafe / guest house, yada, yada, yada. And to tell you the truth, most fail. The only ones that I see succeed are the ones that are operated by Thais. Now, that's not to say that maybe they don't have some foreign honey that's giving them a cash injection or that gave them their startup capital. But the market is saturated. It's saturated with coffee shops. I mean, there's probably 30 coffee shops within one block of my house. And I'm not exaggerating. At least 30. Okay? Everybody and their mother has a coffee shop. They put a little bit of coffee out, a little cocoa out, and a little ice out, and then the next thing you know, they're making all kinds of drinks, and they're a little coffee shop. There's a woman that I know at one coffee shop that's at a gas station, and she said she makes about 30,000 baht a month, and she's at a gas station. It's only her and maybe one other employee, and she's open from like 8 in the morning to 6 at night every single day. It's not a huge amount of money. In my opinion, to start a business that's going to earn $1,000 a month here is probably not your best bet. So you need to think about these things and take these into consideration. Now, this doesn't have anything to do with what you want to know, which is your statistics, but frankly, statistics are not everything. And since you're a foreigner here, you're starting at a disadvantage. And this is because you are not Thai. So this is where a trustworthy Thai partner can help. Now, the other thing is that if you're not an American, you're not eligible for the Treaty of Amity. Since you are American, you are eligible for it, but you really need an attorney to figure out whether or not whatever particular business you want to open or start or whatever, however you want to put it, is eligible under that treaty. So you need an attorney to do that. And I do know of one American who I know fairly well. He opened a business. He's been here like 14 years. He opened a business here in Bangkok, and in his words, it was far more expensive to start a business under the Treaty of Amity, and it took longer, and that the ties he dealt with in the government were sort of apathetic when he started saying that he was, when he started in with the fact that he's under the Treaty of Amity, and he tried to do a few things, and I don't honestly remember the specifics because I talked to him about 2 months ago about this, but he was not very happy about it. Now, he's just one case, and I don't know what kind of attorney he had, but now his business is in Singapore, and he's quite happy with it, and he still lives here in Thailand. In my opinion, the food business is always a great way to go because we all got to eat. Everybody has to eat. No matter what, we got to eat. So that's a way to think about it. However, depending on what kind of restaurant you have, if you want just a tiny little restaurant, you want a big restaurant, whatever kind of restaurant you want, again, it depends on how qualified you are, what experience you have. The bar business or go-go bar business, beer bar business, go-go bar business, like places like massage parlors, that kind of stuff, the only ones that I know who have been successful are the ones who have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'm talking about successful. I'm not talking about they're making 5,000 baht a month off of some little place on the corner that has 3 locals sitting there and a couple of foreigners, and they're the majority of his business. I'm not talking about that kind of place. I'm talking about a kicking business that is making him $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 a month, real money, not $1,000 a month, $500 a month. These guys that I am talking about have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. They know uh, they know what to expect from the Thai locals and the local government. They were willing to lose money in the beginning, and they were willing to continue pumping money into their establishments, so that in the long run they would make money. Now they knew Thailand. They had many friends here. All of these guys. And they knew the bar business, most importantly. All the people that I know that wanted to start like a coffee business, and especially a beer bar or go-go bar business, little businesses like coffee businesses, sometimes they succeed, but more often than not, they have failed. I've known a handful of them. I've known several people who wanted to open bars, and when they did, they fell flat on their face. They were out of business within a year or two. One guy I know and another one of his buddies opened up a place in Nana Plaza. I'm not going to name the bar, but it's no longer there. And basically, by the time they were done paying the staff, paying for the lease, paying for the booze, paying for everything, paying the police, they were lucky to break even. And in my buddy's words, the place was basically a place that kept them busy and where their friends could come drink. They could say, "Hey, why don't you come to my bar?" And the guy would come. They'd make a little bit of money, but they got to give away a lot of free drinks and stuff. If they bring their friends in, their friends, "Hey, one drink on me," and then they're like, "Let me get a drink on you. Let me give you a drink." So it's not an easy business to make it in, and you always got to worry about somebody pocketing money, like the cashier. So I wouldn't not even consider doing business here, trying to open a bar or a go-go or a massage parlor. Forget the massage parlor. I wouldn't even consider it. And especially if you don't know the bar business and you don't know Thailand extremely well, I would not consider it. Some other things to consider is that Thailand is a export-heavy economy. It's a tourist economy. Exports are declining, and the tourism industry is always subject to a number of variables. Personal debt is rising here in Thailand. There's always the risk of political problems. So there are numerous intangibles, and for me, I've never even thought of doing business, opening a business here, because I just don't think it's worth it. I think if I was going to open some kind of a business or do something that it was necessary to open up like a storefront, I would just do it in the United States. But that's my opinion. Now, your question was what particular food, business food, or otherwise would be the best for a 56-year-old male to start up and open. And the bottom line is there is no one-size-fits-all answer to your question. And I think if you begin with what businesses are viable for me, what is legal for me to do here in Thailand, what experience do I have, how well do I know the country and its culture, and how much money do I have to spend, and of course, how much can I afford to lose, I think you will be far better off asking yourself these questions and looking at you'll be far better off if you ask yourself these questions and look at the data from the Board of Investment and what I have on my site. It's just I just think that's the way to go. If you just think about data, I don't think it's going to work for you. It's nice to say, I'm going to come over and take over this business, or I'm going to start this business, but I don't know anything about it. But you're already starting behind the 8 ball. It's always risky to open a business, and I think that doing business here is kind of like starting a relationship with a woman. If you don't know the business, you don't know the woman, you don't truly know her. Well, you don't know the business, you don't know the culture, you don't know the language. In other words, you don't speak the language fluently, and you're not able to read it. If you don't have people that you can trust here, you're starting out behind the 8 ball. Now, the one exception is if you got plenty of money and you don't care if you lose money, then yeah, you got a decent shot. Otherwise, you better be really, really, really sharp. But don't give more than you can afford to lose. You know, I mean, that's all I can say on it. But I would definitely check with the Board of Investment. Take a look at my the PDF that I have from the World Bank, and listen to what I say, because I believe if you do these things, you have a better chance of success. And whether you succeed or not is really up to you. And that's the thing, is that that's an intangible that statistics don't take into consideration. You may be the kind of guy who is doggedly determined to succeed, and you have the money to just keep pumping in until, so that your mistakes, you have time to learn from them. So, anyway, listen, don't forget about the specials for the next 3 days. That's you get $5 off on my audiobook if you haven't listened to it already. And also the $20 off on the membership section of my site. You can just go to anamericaninbangkok.com and you'll see a button that says YouTube / Periscope, Periscope special. Today is October 6th. On Saturday, October 8th, 10 a.m. Bangkok time, I'll be on Periscope. If you want to talk about something, if you want to just shoot the breeze, whatever, that's when I'll be on. 10 a.m. Bangkok time, that's GMT +7, and my Periscope ID is An American in BKK. Please click like, please click share, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this guy's questions, about my answers, and until next time, choke the lat jerk and mine.